Welcome back to BC Procast, episode 25. The big two, the big five. Not 52, 25. I'm going to move past the number. They know what episode we're on. We are here with the one and only, I know his name, everyone, but I would like for you to pronounce your name.
My name, there's two ways to pronounce it. So there's David Caballero.
Okay.
And then there's David Caballero. Got it?
So we're here with David Caballero. Was that close?
That was half of each. That was good.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's half of each.
Can I give it a try?
Yeah.
David? Wait, can you say it more? Say it more.
You said...
Say it more time.
So it's David
David?
Caballero.
David Caballero.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm Spanish, though. I'm Mexican. Hey, that's okay. You're Czech Republican? Dude, that
In
wasn't
Italian.
So,
Czech. Just Czech.
Czechoslovakian.
Czechoslovakian. Yes. And Italian and Polish.
Okay.
And
Oh,
and also just a little bit dangerous.
Old world.
That's kind of
That's old world.
sweet.
kind of cool?
But getting back to our guest, David Caballero. He honestly, he goes to our church, or we go to his church. I don't know how it goes. We go to a church together. And he is someone who we actually about a year ago, we got to get closer to him, and we absolutely found out he is our favorite person in the world. He is so funny, he's so kind and so giving, and has so much, like, if you needed a shirt, he would give you 5 of his shirts. Like, he's so giving and caring and so sweet, but he also has that, like, humor about him that you just laugh.
If you needed a house, he would build it for you. He's also very, very handy.
Oh, yeah.
He can do anything and build anything.
Yeah. So, the cast, meet
David Caballero.
Nice.
Nah, I messed
Nailed
up
it.
last name. Did I?
Nailed it.
Really?
Yeah,
I feel like you're hyping me
good.
out.
Yeah.
But, we're happy to have you on. So I guess, we're here. We've changed up our microphones. Now we're with our phones. He's doing a great job with his microphone. I'm doing a great job with mine. And we have our camera, and we're all set up, and we're ready to rock and roll.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So would you like to introduce yourself? You guys...
Okay, so
You got it. Yeah, there you go.
So I'm new to Wisconsin somewhat. I'm an implant. That's what they call those, right? Implants, because I haven't. I met Kim in Colorado, and then we moved to Wisconsin, and then a friend from work suggested Life Point Church. His name is Josh Figueroa. You guys may know him. So me and Kim decided to try the church back when we were over there, Bayview. What was that? 460 Bayview?
Yeah.
And so I've been going to the same church you guys have been going to for, I think, going on 5 years, 4 and some change now.
Whoa.
Time flies.
It really does fly by.
Yeah, so that's how I got to the church, kind of. But I'm just, let me see, what else can I say about myself, really, that...
I think what we can help out with, we were talking about a little bit before, but you were a global trotter. What a globe trotter.
Yeah. You toured around the whole world.
Yeah, so...
You want to talk about where you came from and everything like that?
Right, so I was born in New York City, in the Bronx.
New York.
New York City.
And
New York.
pizza.
I'm driving here.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
That was good.
So yeah, I was born in New York City, in the Bronx, in a hospital that's no longer there. It was a Jewish Lebanon hospital. I think the name of it. It's not there anymore. Not that I'm aware of.
I'm sorry. Did you see Spider-Man?
The movie. Did I see Spider-Man the movie, or did I actually see Spider-Man?
Actually see Spider-Man.
I have seen Spider-Man. I've seen Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. See who else?
I'm so jealous.
Bart
I love
Simpson.
superhero. Whoa.
Yeah, on 42nd Street. They're all on that street.
Oh yeah, is that Times Square?
Yeah,
Oh,
Times Square. They're all out there,
gotcha.
bro.
I gotcha.
They're all out there.
That's good.
So-
So the hospital is no longer there. You said.
I don't think it is. No, I don't think they tore it down or made it bigger and swallowed it up. But after that, let me see. I was there. I was really little. I was a toddler, and then, unfortunately, my mom and my father divorced when we were early. Me and my brother when we were young. Excuse me. Me and my brother, and so that split up was kind of I don't know because I was too little, but then we stayed with my father in New York for a while, and my mom joined the Army. So when she went to basic training, she couldn't have us with her. So she went to basic training. We stayed with my dad, and then at some point we went to Puerto Rico, and we were in Puerto Rico for a little while with my grandparents. And then after that, we went, which is really crazy because they didn't have, I came from America where they had indoor plumbing, and where we lived in Puerto Rico was out there, and it was an odd house. So you had to go out back. You had to leave the structure where you sleep and eat to go to use the bathroom. And it wasn't like running water.
Yeah.
It was dark. There was bugs everywhere. It's traumatic. As a little kid, dude, it's traumatic. It's traumatic. Anyway, so then from there, from Puerto Rico, my mom came and picked us up.
And how old were you in Puerto Rico?
I was like 4, maybe 5. I was little.
And so are you gonna move on to the next country or next place? Okay.
So then,
Could you told Braedon and I like some fun things that you used to do in Puerto Rico that made Braedon and I go, we're so jealous.
I did.
What did you used to do?
Remind me, please.
Trees, bowls, and fruit.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was later on when I came back, but yeah.
Okay.
that was fun.
Then keep going.
No. That was good stuff. That
Say
was
at 4 or 5 years old.
no, not at 4 or 5 years
You
old.
can do
I didn't
anything.
that.
I didn't
do that, but that was fun. That was good stuff.
We'll let that be like a foreshadow.
Sure. And then then from Puerto Rico, we went to South Carolina because my mom had already finished in basic training, and then she got a permanent duty station. So after you go through basic training, you get stationed somewhere, and she was stationed at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, which is really cool. I love South Carolina. South Carolina is really cool. It's a nice place. So there, I stayed there, and through my early age, and then she was stationed to go to Germany. So my brother wanted to stay with my dad in New York, so he went to New York, and I went to Germany with my mom. So that was really cool. So I was in Germany for a while. After South Carolina.
Why'd you? What was the decision maker for not going to New York instead of going to Germany?
I was a mama's boy. I really loved my mom. I wanted to be with her. I didn't want to.
I'm a mama's boy as well.
Be with her. So mama's boy.
Are you a mama's boy?
I'm very
ashamed
big mama.
to be a mama's boy.
I am
okay.
Not ashamed. I love my mom.
Right?
She's the best.
Exactly. All moms. You
All
guys
moms.
rock. Girls, gals, women,
We love women
and moms.
and moms.
Okay. That was weird. Anyway.
They get what we're saying.
Yeah, they get it. Anyway, so that was my first time, and I was like 10 or 11 years old, and that was fun. So, yeah, Germany was kind of neat. And then while we were there, we did like ITT tours, which is like international tourist and tourism. I don't remember what it was, but we would we could buy tickets and go to Paris for the weekend, or my mom would take time off, and we would go to Strasbourg, which is in France, but it's not really Paris. It's kind of next to Paris, I think. Anyway, it was a long time ago. And like one time we went to Venice, which is like the city on water.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And then, matter of fact, we went Christmas time, and we got to see the Pope actually at the Vatican. I mean, he was like we were on the Vatican Square at midnight for midnight mass, and he was so far out. He was on just a little tiny thing, way in a window on a big building.
That's so crazy.
It was crazy, but it was cool. So that was neat. Venice, got on a gondola ride and all that stuff. Not like the James Bond movies, but
yeah,
still really cool. Just to see that society and stuff and how they do things. And yeah, my first cappuccino was like a little tiny strong coffee, super strong. It was really good too.
Yeah.
Really good.
I actually when I went to Greece recently, and I ate a pizza, gondola. What was the word they just said?
Gondola.
A gondola pizza.
Yeah.
Gondola pizza, and it's shaped like a gondola. Whereas people that don't know, it's like a long boat. Like how you say James Bond, they push on it, and a little like soupy cheese. I bring this up because it was very interesting and good, but living in Germany for that time, was their favorite food? Did you have like favorite food? I was talking to, I'm just sorry. I have a student that is exchange. He's from Germany, and I asked him like, what food should I get? And he said the pretzel.
Yeah, that's a good
But
one.
I was curious what you liked when you were over there.
So there's a couple things that I liked when I was over there. Their gyros are outstanding.
Is that how you pronounce it? Gyro?
Gyros, that's how I pronounce it. Yeah, I don't know what.
How do you pronounce it?
How do I pronounce it? I think it's called Euro.
I call it gyro.
Gyro. That's probably more.
Didn't Jill tell you how they pronounce it?
Yeah, I don't think it's right though.
She was there, though, wasn't
yeah,
she?
she was.
Yeah, I don't think they know what they're talking about.
I don't think the Greeks know what they're talking about.
I don't know.
Isn't there food? Yeah, but I don't think they know.
Right. So, like, the schnitzel was delicious. It's
And
like
what's that?
It was like a breaded veal cut. And it's really thin. Really awesome. And then they serve it with egg noodles, which is like, they call it spätzle, and that's outstanding. Their sauerkraut was really good. They serve a warm sauerkraut. It's like purple cabbage sauerkraut.
Oh, yeah.
What? Awesome, dude. My mouth is watering thinking about it. I might have to go to a German restaurant sometimes.
I thought you were going to say you might have to go to Germany.
Yeah, I thought it was going to say that too.
No. I'm
Can
not
I
leaving the
join?
country. I'm happy where I'm at right now. But so that and their chocolate is out of this world. So German chocolate is not like American chocolate. So yeah. If you ever get an opportunity to buy authentic German chocolate, you will be surprised.
I need to, because I, with all my heart, love chocolate. Yeah. I also love, even more so, dark chocolate.
Yeah. And they German chocolate is completely different.
What's the biggest difference?
I don't know if it's. I don't really know. I just know that it's rich. It's different tasting. I don't know what they do to make it different, but it's not the same kind of chocolate.
You think it's probably a lot less unprocessed?
I don't know.
Like more so like, yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was awesome. I remember that was one of the things. Their milk is completely different too, which really tastes great. It's good stuff, but you got to get used to it. You don't have to refrigerate it. So that's just one thing.
Does it expire pretty quick too? Or
I don't know. I was young, so I drank milk.
Yeah.
So it probably never expired at our house.
Never got the chance to.
So also like curry schnitzel currywurst. Currywurst was really good. So they had these little vendor shops where they would sell bratwurst, currywurst, and that was really good because they put some sort of a sauce on it, and then they sprinkle curry all over it, and they give you a little plastic 3-prong fork, and man,
wow,
yeah, really good stuff. So I like their bratwursts too.
Yeah, I was that's great.
They know
So
how to do it.
You're in Germany,
right?
Food was amazing. That's what we just found out. When did you come back to the States?
So I was there till I remember getting. So I'm going to age myself here because I remember driving at the Copenhagen airport, being shuttled from the airplane on a bus to the Copenhagen terminal, and I was watching. They had cameras. This was in the 80s, and they actually had, well, it was actually in the airport. They had the big screen TVs, and Ronald Reagan was giving his inaugural speech.
Whoa.
So that dates it.
Yeah,
that puts a date on
that's
it.
crazy.
So, and that was my first tour. Not tour. I'm not in the Army. I wasn't in the Army, but that was the first time I went there. And then I was there. So I was there from like 10 or 11 to about maybe 12, 11 or 12. I can't remember quite. And then I came back to South Carolina. And I lived in South Carolina for about 5 years. And then my mom was still in Germany, and I came back out to Germany. So
Oh, wow.
I was like 16 going on 17 when I went back to Germany. I think so. I think the math is right there. I mean, it is my life, so we'll just say the math is right.
Yeah.
We'll just say that.
I mean, you tell us, we'll believe it.
I'm probably off by a couple of months or years, but yeah, it's been a long ride. So
a long, fun ride.
right. Well, I mean, yeah, 54. I'm getting ready to make 55 trips around the sun this year.
Whoa.
So
You
yeah,
don't
it's
look
been a
that
little bit
age.
of a ride.
You look younger.
I thank God for that, because I have ridden this body hard. So I thank God for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, back to Germany, 17, which is really fun. Probably a little more fun than it should have been, but, you know. And then I was there till I was about 18, I think, and then I came back home.
And home is where?
So
South
home
Carolina?
at that point was New York.
New
I went
York.
straight to New York. Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
and that was a
Wow.
culture shock.
And then we did that foreshadowing thing. You're talking about Puerto Rico. When did you go?
Yeah, I went to Puerto Rico for a little while in between there.
Was that the thing
That was,
you're
I was
referring
young.
to?
I was like, that must have been between Germany the first time. That was definitely after Germany the first time. Can't remember. I remember hanging out with some friends. So I spoke a lot of English, and I didn't speak a lot of Spanish for being Puerto Rican. So that was a challenge for me, because I didn't speak a lot of Spanish in the house. My mom spoke Spanish. I just didn't reciprocate in Spanish. So, and she tried to keep that going, but I didn't do well with that.
So you understood it, but you just respond back in English? Is that what you're saying?
Right. So, yeah, I didn't practice it a lot. And like anything that you don't practice, you sort of fall out of.
Yeah.
So I couldn't articulate sentences as well as someone who speaks it fluently. I still can. I can get along, but it's all...
Yeah.
Anyway, so so when I went to Germany, I went to Puerto Rico, I was hanging out with some of the neighborhood kids there. And what we used to do was, there was a grapefruit tree in the middle of this field where there was a bull. And it was a zebull. So they're the ones with the humps on their back.
Okay.
So there was this one bull, and the tree, this grapefruit tree it's funny, because now that I'm thinking about it as an adult, that wasn't our grapefruit tree, that wasn't our land. But we would taunt each other as kids. You know, we're talking barefooted, shorts, no shirt, just Puerto Rico. And we were out in the country, so this wasn't nowhere near an urban center, anywhere near an urban center. Good English, good grammar. So we would taunt each other to see who could get to that tree and climb it before the bull came chasing us. Yeah, and we did it a couple of times. Sometimes we got someone to distract the bull over here. And stuff like that.
Wow, that's
cool.
cool.
So we'd get up on this tree, pick the grapefruit, and just sit there getting all sticky face in the heat with the grapefruit, taunting this bull the whole time, knowing that at some point we would have to get down out of this tree and get back across that fence line.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Has there been any close calls?
I really can't remember. I don't think so, because I think I would have remembered something traumatizing like that. I think we were okay. I don't know if that bull was... I think that bull was probably not interested in us. I'd have to imagine. It seemed like an old bull, but what do I know? I'm not a farmer.
So from all that traveling and seeing the world and fun games, when it comes to messing with bulls, what's some like cool things you've learned, or like something that you would say to someone that's wanting to travel?
So from a traveling perspective, I would say to try to get to know maybe some of the cultures, maybe familiarize yourself with maybe some things like just some pretty simple general questions or statements, or where's the bathroom, things like that. Where's the police station? Where's the train station?
Smart.
Where can I catch a cab? These things will help you out in any foreign country. So in Germany, we learned that right away. And also, like, where's the consulate? Things like that. Because whenever you leave America and you're American, you're the foreigner in a foreign country. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to say at a disadvantage, but the burden is on you, to make it work. So
yeah,
that's kind of what I would probably suggest.
I like that a lot. And also going on with the traveling, before we change topics, what is like one thing that has stuck with you? Like through each place that you've gone through, what was something that just kept sticking with you? Whether it is the culture or whether it's a way that you familiarize yourself with the place, what has just always just been there with you?
I would have to say one of the things that has always stuck with me is that people are the same all over the world. You're going to have your really kind people, you're going to have your helpful people, and then you're going to have people that will want to take advantage of you or see an advantage in you that they can exploit. So that's something that I've noticed everywhere I've traveled. I mean, not so much when I was 10 or 11 or 9, because kids don't see those kind of things. Yeah. But as I was older, there's a lot of that.
Were you able to start being able to read people a little bit faster?
I don't think so. I think it's just because that's an interesting question, because we have to understand that when we're reading people, we're reading them from our perspective. We're reading them from movies we've watched. We're reading them from the catalog that's inside here. You know what I mean? So that's our perspective. So when it's your world perspective, it's my world perspective. Yeah. So when I see someone, I size them up. Everyone does this, You could be completely off because you don't know what that person's life was like.
Yeah.
So that's kind of hard to really do that. There are some things you can tell right away, like just the regular telltale signs, shifty eyes, paying attention to their physical sort of movements and how right. Are they standoffish? Body language is a thing. Sorry about that. I put the mic away. Body language, you can tell usually by body language how somebody's how they're postured and stuff like that. But that's not always, you shouldn't always go by that. I would say just be aware of where you're at. That's one thing that they always told us in Germany, to just be aware of your surroundings, which is something you should always do. Be aware of your surroundings. I do it all the time. We were at Costco yesterday, and I always look around. I see, how many people are wearing ball hats,
Really?
Yeah, things like that. How many, so here's something really crazy and conspiratorial, but it's just between us, right?
Yeah.
So I do the same thing where I'll see if I can assess a threat in the crowd at a Costco, at a Walmart, who's wearing slippers, who's wearing house shoes, how many people are just wearing sweats?
Really? Why? What this came out of that the idea just because you've been traveling a lot and that's what you want to be aware, or is it almost like a game to you, or
it's a kind of a game, but it's also just being aware.
Yeah.
For instance, how many times you walk into a place and know exactly where the exit is other than the one you entered? Answer honestly.
I don't know. I don't know how many places I would know or even exits I would see.
I'm the same with Braedon. I only know the one that I just came from.
You came in through.
Yeah. Right. There's only like one thought I have when it comes to being aware.
Right.
That every once in a while that I do, if I care enough, is face towards the door. when you sit down like at a restaurant.
Right. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That is a good one. That I've always kept that one as well.
And then also another thing I do with my girlfriend is when we walk on the street, I walk on the street side.
So you have her.
She's on the sidewalk, like she's towards.
See, so you're kind of doing a threat assessment and a whole awareness thing too.
I think I do, to a certain extent, especially with certain people.
Yeah.
If it's like by myself, I think I'm like aware of things, but I know I'm bad to the bone. You know what I'm saying? We're all bad to the bone. We're dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's more for other people's safety.
Sure.
No, but I think I like to be aware of stuff, but I don't think I've taken it to the level of like really paying attention to like exits or what people are wearing. Actually, okay, I guess we're getting into this. Now I'm thinking about it, I do kind of do that. Every once in a while, like I see a random car, I try to I just say the license plate out loud.
Okay.
License plate out loud.
Yeah.
Like in my head to be like, all right, beware of that. Another thing I do, now thinking about it is, what is it? Man, I was just thinking about it. I think of like what people wear, not like counting hats, but I think I just am aware of like how. That's what I say. Every once in a while, when someone like gives me weird vibes, I like make sure I look at them to be like, all right, so they're on this height, they have this facial hair, they're wearing glasses, this ethnicity. Every once in a while, I'll do that if a person gives me a little weird vibe.
And that's always that's one of the things that if you're in a foreign country or you're even somewhere that you're not used to being in a different neighborhood, the wrong part of town. I don't know what that means, but that kind of stuff. You should, and you obviously do that to some degree. You don't even notice you're doing it. It's almost like a self-protective thing, but that's something that you can do, like that I've learned from being out there in a foreign country. But also when I got there to Germany, was in the 80s, there was a Marine base in Lebanon that was just blown up. So everyone was on high alert. I don't know quite when that was I know that when I got there, it was around the same time frame. So on the military base, there was always, posters and mantras and know where you're going, know who you're talking to, never talk military business at restaurants. There was always that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there was always that. Be aware thing. So even as a little kid, that was sort of driven in.
That's very interesting because me and Caeden found this out when we went out to do our like a little hangout, get together trip, which was amazing, so fun. We found out more and more that you like to be prepared and ready. And a small example of that is your phone. And it's battery life.
We're going there, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you really want to talk about that so they have an idea of like what that is? But then maybe talk about, maybe you've kind of explained it of why you like to be prepared or the importance of preparation or like just being aware of certain things. So first you want to talk about your battery thing and then kind of get into like maybe where that sparked.
Okay, so
I guess pun intended. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but
no, that's good. So the battery thing. So I'm sure I'm not the only one. There has to be a percentage of people out there, and so, and I know you're out there.
Yeah.
I know. So for some reason, when my battery level goes down to on my phone goes down to like 49, we're in, I wouldn't say critical mode, but we're in, okay, do I have a charger? How much time before I get home to charge it? Is there a charger in the phone? A phone charger in the car? When am I going to get to the car? Do I need to start powering down? But I don't power down right away. But 70%, I'm like limiting my phone use. 36%, which is rare. 36%, we're in full panic mode. We're like, shut down the phone.
We're keeping it.
Shut down the phone. Yeah. So, I don't know where that came from, but I have to be at 100% juice on my phone. Like that's the ideal place for me. 96, 98. 87.
What's your favorite number besides 100?
what's my favorite?
Is it like
number?
99 or is there like a, is there a
On the
certain
phone charge
on the
thing?
phone? Yeah.
96 seems like a nice round.
Yeah,
number.
that's
I don't
good.
mind 96. 96. I look at my phone as 96. I'm good.
Yeah.
Good. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Anytime after, if I can get to a charger and my phone hits 72, I'm plugging it in.
Is there anything else that you do to prepare, like that kind of thing with the phone? Like, do you with your watch or whatever?
I got that from my mom. Being when she was in Germany, she was always prepared. She always had a backpack with her, and she always had stuff in that backpack. And I was always like, oh, okay. She always had stuff in her backpack, things that you might need on a road trip, or things that you might need just out going to work and back. Things that like you keep a flare in your trunk. Well, some people do. Maybe not so much anymore. But
do you?
No, I don't keep a flare in my truck. No, I don't have a truck. If I did, it'd be cool to have a flare in it, though. Gotta agree on that, right?
Guys, check this out.
Right.
Don't you need that?
Wave it back and forth slowly, like in Jurassic Park.
Or like, is there a cave?
So
The church's lights aren't on. I got it, guys.
all the smoke coming off of that thing.
You're
That'd be
driving
great.
like down and like a little kid like in that sewer drain underneath the driveway has like a ball. You're like, I got it.
I've been waiting.
Like, where were you holding that? What? So
How many of those do you have?
right. So so I got that from my mom, the being prepared thing. I was also a Boy Scout when I was in Germany, so I was in one of the troops there. So I did learn the importance of being prepared for most situations. You can't be prepared for everything. Mentally, you should always be prepared for as many things as you need to be prepared for.
Oh, wow.
I know that's a lot, and I'm not trying to sound like an alarmist, but things happen, and mostly they're all little things, but you gotta mentally be prepared for stuff like that. So, what would happen if?
Yeah, right.
And then you can play that game. I got a flat tire. What would happen if? So I try to stay prepared. I always keep things on hand, like a screwdriver, a knife. No, actually, it's like a paratool. It's got pliers.
Really?
Pliers. See a little saw, and it's got a serrated knife, and it's got a screwdriver, and it's got a bunch of little sockets that go with it, so that you can.
Wow.
Yeah, just in case you want to do something, or you got a hangnail and you want to pull it off like a man.
Yeah.
With your pliers.
So
I need some light.
Yeah. Hold that flare close.
Yeah, it's a screwdriver, hammer, flare, knife.
Yeah.
What was that? A knife. I said a knife.
Well-
But right before that, hammer? The flare.
So I think as men,
Yeah.
and this is where it comes down to.
Let's
I think
hear it.
as men, we need to be prepared to be there, to help in any situation. Not that women can't take care of it, but throughout the ages, men, and I'm saying this knowing that I may offend somebody, men have always stood in the gap. We were built that way to do that. And we've fallen away from that, and not to get off in some crazy thing, but that's why I always want to be prepared, because I want to be helpful. I don't want to be the problem in any situation.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's good.
You don't want to be the guy melting down in the corner, or
Yeah.
like on the movie Alien. That's one of my favorite scenes.
Really?
The
Okay.
aliens, when they escape after the first alien, I think it is, they go to get a girl on a colony. She's the only one alive. It's a little girl, and it's a mess. This alien's running around killing people and doing stuff. Then they get outside, and then they're outside the compound, these space marines, and they're remote flying their ship in so they can get in and get out, and an alien gets on it and blows it up in the sky before it gets there. And the alien and the Marine's like, oh man, that's it. What do we do now, man? Game over, man. Game over. And Sigourney Weaver, it's like, you're a Marine, man up, and stuff like that. But yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that guy.
You don't want to be the
You're
problem.
Like, okay, now what do we do?
Yeah.
Everybody just relax. Let's assess.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Yeah, I think that's very, very cool. And I think kind of leads me into this next part of you're very, like, handyman. Like, building stuff, taking care of things. You're just a man's man. Has that, you kind of talked about preparation. You want to be not the problem, but probably the solution. But was that like a hobby getting into like building things or whatever? Or is it like there's a need and I'm going to help out and fulfill that need?
So I think it's,
Are you just good
in
at
a
everything?
situation, I'm not good at everything.
I think that's the answer.
No. So it's really ironic because I'm not good at math. I've never been good at math. And when you're building stuff,
Yeah.
right? You need like
He builds-
a ruler
yeah.
and math, fractions.
He does
decimal
cabinets,
points.
so.
Yeah, so you know. So I think mostly I have been, it takes me longer than it takes the average bear to get honey out of a tree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love that, yeah.
So, but I enjoy doing it. I think I've always had a creative sort of streak in me, like in elementary school, high school. I was always involved in some sort of artsy project or arts sort of curriculum.
Yeah.
So I've always had that artistic side in me, and here as I've gotten older, the opportunity to build stuff, you know, for VBS and to help people, and I actually renovate apartments and do that just for my second job. That gig pays the rent. So I've gotten better at it, but yeah, I'm pretty. I wouldn't say there are people that are way better than me at that and can do it way faster. My wife will tell you that I am a little too nitpicky at stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when it comes to getting things right, I'm a little bit of a yeah.
I was actually going to ask, I think this is a perfect time. Do you want to just brag about your wife and how amazing she is?
I'm
you
married,
guys
yeah, I'm
are the
married up.
dynamic duo.
I'm married up. We have our back and forth.
Yeah.
Like anybody else.
You guys
we're
are
human.
amazing. I
Yeah.
love you guys
Yeah,
as a...
I appreciate that. I
a
appreciate that.
Well, marriage couple? I don't know. Yeah. You guys being married is awesome. That's all I was going to say. You guys are awesome.
She's awesome. She makes me want to be a better person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like every day. But I don't. I'm not. Come on.
You're amazing.
I know, but she knows I'm at this level. But that takes so much work. You know, to be right here. You know what I mean? It's like so. Yeah, she sees a lot of potential in me, and she puts up with a lot. She's very patient. She's very patient. So I did marry up though. She's the best.
How'd you guys meet?
That's an interesting story. We actually met in Colorado Springs. Her husband at the time, and my wife at the time, because we've both been married twice. This is actually our second marriage to each other. Works together at a place called Saligent Solutions or something like that. Anyway, they went to a seminar that their class was their work was holding about. There's a book, Who Moved My Cheese? That's the name of the book.
That's a
real
interesting book name.
Yeah, Who Moved My Cheese? And after a couple of weeks, they both decided they would be better off with each other. So my wife left me and her husband left her. And I reached out to Kim to talk to her about, because I wanted to get a hold of her husband to speak with him about some parenting issues with my two boys. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, and that was crazy because I was like, she asked me, we had caller ID, right?
Yeah.
But I was all like, I didn't want to get her involved, so I was like, this is Richardson.
Richard
Literally.
Richardson. That's
Yeah,
funny.
I can't lie like that. You know, you gotta
Yeah,
prepare
yeah.
for that. I didn't expect her to ask me who I was.
Who is this? Oh,
This is
That was the one question.
Richard Richardson.
This is table couch.
So then I hung up. After I asked her, and she said, "No, I don't have any information. I don't know where he's at." So then I hung up, and 2 minutes later she called me back, and she was like, "Did you just call here?" And I was like, oh. "Yeah, that was me." And then we started talking, and we became our own support group, so to speak.
Yeah.
We were both on the rebound, and that was just after the planes went into the World Trade Center. So, yeah, we've been together ever since.
Wow.
Wow, what a story. Oh my goodness. And so what is, going back onto her, like bragging about her, what has she, so could you explain how you were before her and then how you are now? And how has she changed you in that way?
Wow, that's a big one. That's a good one. So at first, we were both out of control. I mean, our lives with our life partners, you know, and we both have kids that were involved on her side and on my side. So we were just both a wreck. We were a wreck. I was drinking a lot. I was doing drugs. I was doing everything to anesthetize myself and just keep it away. Just keep it away, which really sucks because I had 2 little kids and they weren't figuring out what was going on. They needed somebody and I wasn't there. So that's something that I constantly beat off of myself because it's like a shame that it comes up and I have to beat it down and it comes back up and I have to beat it down. So that was that. I was a mess there, and she was also alongside me. So she wasn't a big drinker, but you know we smoked weed and stuff like that. So that's what I mean about drugs, and eventually got into heavier drugs. Nothing shooting up, but like you know sniffing cocaine and meth and crack and all that. So it was bad. It was bad. I hit rock bottom. Just from the sense that, you know, we weren't moving anywhere, and then we both decided to quit, and she was pretty strong with it, like I said, and with the drinking part, she really wasn't a drinker, so I think she kind of helped me along with that, because she was like always. Every time I got a beer or something. Which is good, you know. We all need that. We need that. We need that, right?
Yeah.
We need that. So she was always good about that, and I had to be a better person again.
Yeah.
I had to be the man in the relationship because I had known God and I had been baptized in Jesus' name, and I had been, you know, taught how to read the scriptures and how not to twist it and how to ask why, when, where, and context, all of it. So you know, I mean, I'd go back to the Greek and to the Hebrew and search something out, and so I knew all of this, and then my life fell apart. So there was a time there that I completely walked away from God and went straight into the world, and you know,
So what was the step to now, like ministries, like part, like a lot of your life, you know, the time you give and you dedicate, and also I believe I don't know where I was going to go with that. You believe God's great, I guess. I don't know what I was going to say, but how did you get from that dark place to now a place where it's like you're living for God, and like you're both your relationship with your wife, it, like, anyone can ask, you guys like look in love when you guys look at each other. Like you guys are the couple where it's like
We are.
They're hanging out and they're having fun and they love each other. Like,
We are.
where was the steps between that? Was it a
It
moment?
was. I think it was. No, I don't think it was a moment. I think it was a collaboration of moments. I think it was just a bunch of moments. You know, the dark side of it, because we went through the dark side together.
Yeah.
We had both gone through that.
Right.
From our spouses leaving us to the drugs and that whole journey, and then we had broken up for a while, and then we got back together, and so all of that actually, you know, we got to know each other, the good and the bad, and so, and not that I am at all saying, you know, I'm not promoting go down that road with your partner so that you guys could, you know, but I think that built us together as we both went down this road together, you know, holding our hands tightly to each other as we traveled down this road. We both felt the pain. We both went through the struggles of addiction. We both went through, you know, and luckily we think, not luck, thanks to the Lord, we moved out of that. You know, there was a way out. And I think it was my strong foundation in the Lord that kind of kept us, even though I wasn't staying in the Word, and I had just decided not even to open the Bible, but I would open it now and then, because I've always known since a little kid that God is real. Yeah. That there's a God, there's angels, there's demons. You know, when I was little, my whole family, my Spanish family, it was all Roman Catholic. So there was always that going on. But I always knew there was something.
It's like you were like tethered to an anchor.
Like,
even though you might sway in the water, it's like there's that anchor point.
It was always there. God was always there.
Yeah.
He was always there. I mean, and so there was that time. But I think that we worked through it together, and I think that made us stronger. And we got to know each other in that. Through the trial, we got to know each other. And she knows me and I know her. And there's times that I'll think something and she'll just say it, and I have to remind her that that's not cool. That if it doesn't come out of my mouth, she can't comment on it. She can't be in here. But we all know that's when your life partner's like that. That happens. That happens.
Wow, I love how you said that.
Yeah, and because we've walked from that darkness into the light, into God's light, now we're stronger for it, and we know what's back there. We know what we've seen. I think our ministry, as far as she serves a lot, she gives and gives and gives. I get grouchy when she gives, because when she's giving, she's away from me. So I get grumpy because I'm selfish, and it should always be about me.
That's awesome.
It should always be about me, and so I need her over here with me. So I get a little grumpy, but I know that that's her lifeblood. That's one of her love languages, actually, is that service. So she loves to do that. So, and she gives her all. And I think that's amazing. And I think that's one of the things that makes me want to be better, because she's better. She gives and gives and gives and gives, and she's just so patient. I think, matter of fact, yesterday I told her, I was like, if you weren't as patient as you are, I don't know where I would be. I really don't. So,
yeah, she definitely is a person, and she always has a smile on her face.
She does.
She'll smile and she'll say good morning on Sunday mornings. Whenever I see her, she's always smiling and saying hello. And same with you. You're always dabbing me up and just saying, hey, bro, you look good. And I'm like, wow. Yeah. You guys just know how to put a smile on people's faces and show love and show a deeper care. Like, if a random stranger went up to you guys, they would feel like they have known you forever and stuff like that. My question is, so with that happening, where did you find your love for people? Where was that developed, and that you truly just saw people and you just absolutely just loved them?
So that's a good question. That's another good question. You guys are nailing it. If I can be honest about that, I'm still working on that. I am still working on that. I am not really, so the word is gregarious. You're either what is it, introvert, or you're gregarious, right? So either you're like a people person and you're out there and you're the life of the party,
That's
or you're
Braedon.
like an introvert where
That's me.
you're like So I, in my younger days, I've always been gregarious, and that's got to do with my travels.
Yeah.
Because I was always,
You almost had to.
we always traveled and we
Yeah.
always moved, and I was always meeting new friends, and I was always having to. So I would learn to do that. So I became gregarious. In my older stage now, not super old, but I have to. There are days that I don't want to talk with people. So So like at church sometimes, I catch myself not wanting to make eye contact with people. I don't know why. It's still like that shy. I don't want to engage.
Yeah.
So I have to work through that. So what you see sometimes with me being friendly is me pushing through that limit and trying to get outside of my comfort zone.
Right.
Yeah.
But my comfort zone, I'll be honest with you, my comfort zone is sitting on my chair with my 2 dogs on my lap, watching TV or watching something on my phone. That's my comfort zone. Out in the woods with a metal detector.
Yeah.
That's my comfort zone, bro. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
I love quiet. I love peace. I'm not a fan of like state fair crowds or concert crowds, or I tend to shy away from those events. And when there's a lot of people, I think this is the thing, when there's a lot of people around, I tend to feel like I'm overwhelmed, who do I engage, who do I don't engage, or what do I say, or I got to remember everyone's names. That is so difficult for me, remembering names.
Oh my goodness.
So that's, and I tried the tricks, when you hear someone's name, say it 3 or 4 times in your head, or associate that name with something, so that if the guy's wearing blue, whatever, I try, but I'm so that's why and that's why I it seems like Kim is really friendly. Kim is just the opposite. She's like she's like she'll talk to you forever about stuff, and she's like she'll bring up conversation and actually spark conversations with complete strangers where I'm all like sizing them up. You know what I'm
Looking
saying?
at the exit.
Yeah, exactly.
Taking out your flare. No, I'm curious to know what's your why of pushing out of your comfort zone. Like what makes you want to push out of that and be an extrovert and be someone who is a people person?
Because I don't know who I'm going to impact. So I could have an exchange with someone. God could line up an exchange, and I don't want to miss that. God is great. So if I miss that, if I'm like, God is going to have someone else step in there. If that person needs to meet God at a certain place at a certain time, needs to hear a certain word, God's word it's not going to come back void. It's not going to fail. If that person is looking for God, if that person has something in their heart, or there's a concern, or God needs to answer a prayer that person has by someone, and I've seen it over and over and over again, testify, then I don't want to miss that opportunity if I'm the one that's supposed to do that. Not because I want the glory, but because that's all about the kingdom service. That's all about kingdom conversations. That's all about, this person may need to hear something that I have to say. This person may need to understand that I've gone through that. This person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what pushes me through sometimes to engage. Yeah. But then sometimes I don't engage. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go check the coffee. I'm gonna go. I'm just being honest. You know?
No.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. So.
Well, you do an absolute amazing job, because I did not know that. I would have just assumed that you're just an extrovert and just going out doing stuff for people, because you're very meek. you have a very tender meekness about yourself, and you're very humble about the stuff that you do. Like literally, I didn't tell you this, but with doing the podcast, you wanted to blur your face and change your voice.
Yeah, I was asking that you guys would
That'd been fun.
Which
blur my voice and obscure my voice.
which that technology doesn't work here. Well, over here.
Well, I think when you guys get better and you guys have like an editing crew and stuff,
Yeah.
call me back and we'll do something.
Yeah, well, we'll see if it works.
He's just like,
I've been over to Germany and Porter.
No, we'll
and a
do
bowl.
conspiracy.
yeah.
Conspiracy topic.
Yeah, well,
If they can blur me out, that'd be great.
yeah. And then,
Well, now they know. Now they know who the other person is gonna be.
You gotta edit that out.
okay.
That's our one cut.
all
That's
this,
our
cut
one
all
cut.
this. No, that's good. I think that's a great note to end on.
Right.
It's very uplifting, funny. I think at that last part, we got to see like more of like a interaction that we get on the regular with you is just fun, loving, just jokes but yet like I loved how we were able to get to that part where we opened up and we talked about serious things because that's who you are. You're someone that is the biggest smile, always laughing, making people feel special, always being helpful no matter what, always being, can I help you, can I grab that, all that stuff. But then also like when you sit down and have a talk or have like that minute or two at the church to talk or interactions, you open up to love where people feel that they can open up themselves and talk about serious things that they're going through. And you're such a light to both of us. Like the trip that we all went on that you came up with, it was one of my favorite trips. So fun.
Yeah.
It's
Chicago beans.
yes, the big walnut. Remember
the big nut.
we were making a joke about that. But I have so many great memories from that trip, and like we're definitely excited for like any other future things and just seeing you around church and stuff like that. So we want to thank you, and I know Caeden will go off and do his thing about how great you are because I think we both can keep on talking about how awesome. Like anyone who's watching, be jealous that you don't have him in your life.
Yeah,
if you're
seriously.
watching from across the world, unless you're in Germany, you might be jealous of you because you might know him. But you're amazing. You're such a light, and we're so thankful for you taking your time and being on here, opening up, talking about where you're from, some funny things, how you became who you became. It's just great. Thank you.
And I exactly what Braedon said, and I'll just add one thing is I love how you can be an open book for an ear to hear, and that will help them. You bring your testimony in that can change a life, and you're not afraid to step out, to open up, because you know it will impact. So being that alone is just so beautiful. But thank you, seriously. We also like to end with a few like fun questions, because we just
And honestly, we'll keep it a few because we all know we could be straight goofing for like the next 2 hours, making jokes and telling stories. So we'll keep it, but you have to answer quick, okay?
Okay.
So
all right.
first one,
Let's do it. Quick fire.
where's your favorite place you lived?
Favorite place to live? I'd say South Carolina was.
Really? Okay.
if you could choose any superpower, what would it be?
There's only one right answer, by the way.
There is.
Well, invisibility.
Wrong.
Invisibility.
Super speed.
The ability to control time.
Why invisibility? You trying to rob a bank?
No, it goes back to that when I'm feeling like.
Oh,
I don't wanna be
yes.
around people.
You don't.
Like,
You don't feel like people wouldn't like? There'd be like,
be like,
just
why
see-
did you just-
Wait a second. All right. If you could build anything for fun, like random materials, money, nothing, it doesn't matter. What would you build? For your own enjoyment.
For my own enjoyment, I'm kind of going through this thing right now where I want to build forges, build knives. So, forging knives,
like a blacksmith.
hitting hot
Yep.
metal, turning it into something. Yeah, that's my. That was the tour.
Just,
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I think so.
Would you rather have a golden voice or the ability to play any instrument? So golden voice where you can sing and just be absolutely amazing, or be able to play every instrument.
I'm gonna have to say absolutely no to either one of those.
So silver tongue.
Behind the scene.
Oh.
That's where I'm at.
I'm
behind the scene. That's why I needed you to obscure my voice and blur my face so I can stay behind the scenes.
All right, here's one more. It's almost the last one, but this one's very important. And there's only one correct answer. What's the best trip you've been on? Oh, there's two. There's two. But let's do one with flying.
The best trip I've been on. So, for this group's sake, when we went to Mississippi.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that one. Wait, it was Mississippi,
Alabama.
right?
Alabama.
I always kept calling it Mississippi, and Kim was like, Alabama.
I forgot where we went. I just knew it was south.
Yeah, no, I kept saying Mississippi.
Yeah, that's funny. That was a great trip. That was a great trip.
So, yeah.
Okay, besides that, what's your favorite trip? And Chicago, besides Chicago and...
Chicago was fun.
Because those were number one and
Dude,
two.
that was a crazy storm we drove back in. It
Yes.
took like 2 or 3 hours to come back.
Weren't you asleep?
Was I asleep?
Through it?
I didn't think I slept through it. Did I sleep through it?
I thought you did. I thought someone was asleep. Was I asleep? No. We were all up.
We also found out that you know how like windshield wipers you can put it
Yeah,
on
that was
settings.
funny.
You can put it on settings. We found out that Dave actually manually does it.
Yeah,
every
because I
time.
don't like the settings. It's either too fast or too slow, so I would do it myself. And Braedon was like, you can set things to do that.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, that was funny. That was
But
good.
I still
seriously,
think about that when I'm doing it.
Yeah, just be like.
oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
I kind of feel the same though. Because sometimes the setting's too fast.
Yeah.
And sometimes too slow.
Yeah.
But that's a good one to end on.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Wait. My other favorite trip.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
My
yes.
favorite trip. I'm still on it. It's the one with me and Kim.
Oh.
I love that.
So
Your love story, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Well, thank you so much, David Cabir. David.
Is there any last things that you would like to share? If it's a funny story, a thing, or it's like look it straight in the camera and be like, you're awesome. Whatever. If there's nothing, that's totally fine. But if there's something you'd like to share, is there anything?
Yeah, I would like to share that every moment counts. So be there for someone in that moment.
I'm not trying to clap too loud because of the mic, but it was amazing.
Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the pod. Hey, BC Pro, you were blessed today to be able to hear from such a great guy. Hey, if you haven't prayed, make sure you pray. It's good to talk to God. Make sure you put on those post notifications. Send this video. Subscribe. Send this video to at least 73 people out there. People who charge their phones, like how David Caballero does it. But seriously, thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave, for coming on. And yeah, I was gonna try it and then I just couldn't remember it. But hey, we'll see you on the next one.
And hold on. Make sure you pray.
I did say that.
You did? Did you say feel your curiosity?
No, I didn't. That's
Okay, there you go. And make sure, and hopefully we fuel your curiosity. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.